hope y'all are doing okay and or better. And if you're not, hang in there. Distract yourself. Do what you gotta do. Hopefully tomorrow or the next day will be a little better. Okay, so I got a request to do my version of unpopular opinions. Obviously, unpopular opinions are controversial, which is kind of a pain in the butt to talk about because people have different opinions. So, this is just my version of unpopular opinions. Nobody on here needs to try to change my mind. I'm an old lady. I'm not changing my mind on any of this. You don't need to change anybody's mind in the comments either. What you can do is make your own video about your own unpopular opinions, or you can lightly say if you disagree with something, but there's no need to debate any of it. No need. Not here. Not here. Okay. Now that we got that out of the way, I'm going to do a little light housekeeping. If you're new here, welcome to my nonsense. If you're old here, welcome back, OGs. If you're new here, please consider walking your fingers over to the subscribe button, clicking on it. If you're old here, also double check, make sure you are subscribed. Hit the like if you like. Leave a comment. It can be anything related to the video. Just keep it cool. Like I said, just keep it cool. Keep it light, keep it cool. Be nice. Hit the notification bell. And as always, I will link my tip jars in the description. No pressure whatsoever, but anything contributed to the channel is very helpful and very much appreciated. Okay. I got my Post-its. I have a lot of Post-its here, so this is probably going to be two dose videos. Let me just grab a chunk of these. We'll just mix them up. Let's grab a chunk from the front and a chunk from the middle. Okay. Okay. Here's my first one. Cancellation fees, late fees, absolutely necessary, should be enforced, but I think they should also be reverse enforced. So if you are the person waiting at the doctor's office, so like say, just as an example, doctor's office, say they charge in their policy, if you're 15 minutes late, you have a late fee, or they just drop you from the day, like they're not going to see you. It should apply in reverse. So if I go to the doctor's office and I'm waiting for longer than 15 minutes, they should owe me the cancellation fee, the $25 or whatever it is. So cancellation fees, like it's a contract, it should be mutual. The person that's not holding up their end of the bargain should have to pay the person that did. So everybody can stop wasting each other's time. That's how I feel. Oh, this one's gonna get a rise. Cannabis is safe and healthy to use during pregnancy. Says science. Don't shoot the messenger. Obviously not overdoing it. I'll leave it at that. Can of baby. Can of baby. Okay. Too many cuts and edits ruin YouTube videos for me. So the videos that are carried away with like everything, you like say 3 words and then it cuts. You say a sentence and then it cuts. You cut for everything. You want to grab a new post, it cuts. It ruins the video for me. And it gives me motion sickness. I would rather watch you set something down and then just cut. So, too many cuts and idiots. Too many cuts and edits ruins a video for me. And it gives me motion sickness. So, my unpopular opinion is less edits are better. Less cuts, less edits. Okay. All right. I feel like a lot of people in relationships are more desperate than people out of relationships. So I think that relationships make people desperate. Bad relationships. I don't know how to phrase that as the unpopular opinion. Not saying relationships are bad, but saying that a lot of relationships make people look bad. Because it becomes very obvious when somebody is desperately trying to make a relationship work and the other person is total shit. So relationships, my opinion is often, not always, relationships create more desperation in an individual than being single does. That's my opinion. I don't really know how to phrase that. But I know so many women in relationships that would be much happier if they could just be on their own. And they're trying to force this person they're with to be a good partner. And they're not. And it's so draining and it's hard to watch. It's hard to support. And it just is very desperate. Okay. Success with almost anything is more about luck and resources than it is about talent. It's more about luck, resources, connections, networking ability versus the skill that you learned and the skill that you practice. There's a lot of talent out there that is not brought to full success because of a lack of resources, a lack of ability to network, and just not having the luck. Even like with YouTube, a lot of YouTube is luck. You know, there's keywords and there's this and there's that, but a lot of YouTube is luck. I know really good channels that I love that have like a few hundred subscribers, and then there's some channels that have a shit ton of subscribers that I'm like, okay, I don't get it. I'm glad people enjoy it, but like, you get what I'm saying? There's a lot of talent that can't level up because of different things that has nothing to do with skill or talent. That's what I'm saying. Not that big channels don't deserve big followings, but just because somebody has incredible luck or whatever does not mean that they are always better than somebody with less of a following, or you get it. Okay. Gentle parenting is a privileged way to parent. Yes, should we all try to be more gentle as parents? Definitely. Compared to when I was a kid, oh yeah, light years needed to happen to that way of parenting. But full-on gentle parenting is a privilege. If you have the mental capacity to always be calm. If you have the time to always be calm and patient. Great. But a lot of people don't have one or both of those. So sometimes, in order to parent at all, you can't be totally gentle. You know, right now, like you have a toddler. You have to get out the door, you have a doctor's appointment, or you have something urgent, and your toddler's sitting there wanting to put their own shoes on or having a full-on meltdown about something. And a gentle parent who has plenty of time, help, mental capacity, whatever, can sit there and talk through the episode very calmly and take more time. But maybe a single mom that can't be late for work, can't miss another day, is going to have to say, look, too bad, so sad, pick the kid up, buckle him up, that's it, I don't want to hear it. So that's what I mean by that. I don't mean hardcore parenting is the answer. I just mean gentle parenting always and about everything is a privileged way to parent. Okay. You should speak ill of the dead, if compelled. A lot of us have been programmed to never speak ill of the dead. Not even to speak ill of people that are older than us in the family. No. Just tell it like it is. And if somebody that has passed didn't leave good stories to tell, you can tell the bad ones if you want to talk about it. It's fine. Speak ill of the dead. There's a quote, I can't remember exactly what it is, but it's something like, if somebody wanted good stories to be written about them, then they would have behaved better, or something like that. That's what I mean by that. Alright. If somebody is completely politically uniform, with their parents and their siblings, completely. I don't mean in general. I mean completely, and it's on an extreme side. Then I believe they've been indoctrinated. I believe they've been brainwashed, and I believe that they might struggle with learning. So I've even had like an occasion where somebody in like a debate or something said, well, I don't know about that. I just know that this is how I was raised, and that's how my parents felt about it. And I'm like, you're really coming on here and saying that? Like, about that's the point you're gonna drive home? That's not information. That's just parroting. Even like couples do it too, because I've seen people that I know, women that I know, get married, get in a relationship, and then they're like a chameleon. So like a couple of years down the road, they're saying all these things, and I'm like, wait a second. This doesn't sound like you. And I really, like, yeah, you can learn, you can grow, and you can totally change your mind on stuff. But sometimes you just are like, this doesn't even sound like you. Like, this sounds like parroting, chameleon, parroting. Okay. Oops, that goes in this pile. I believe this is a quote too. Everything that needs to be said has been said, but since nobody was listening, we have to say it again. I think it's a quote that is in the book Steal Like an Artist, which I do have somewhere. Generally meaning nobody's original. Everything's been done, everything's been said, and I think that we are all combinations of a bunch of influences. I don't think anybody's terminally unique anymore. We're all unique, but not totally original. Everything and everybody, even in every aspect, like at work or even in the creative fields, like you are what you've gathered from hopefully an array of inspiration, which is what makes you unique, because you've picked from all these different things, if that makes sense. We're all like little combo bags. Okay, let's do a few more. Influencing, like the age of influencing, influencers are doing a better job of marketing than commercials ever did. I myself have been compelled to buy more stuff that I don't need by influencers than I ever have from commercials. I didn't even pay commercials a thought, ever. But when somebody that I watch on like YouTube, Instagram buys something, I'm like, I need that. It's dangerous. So I think that influencing does a better job than commercials and advertising in a traditional sense. There is almost no reason to make a phone call. Almost everything that needs to be said can be said via text or via email or like Messenger on an app. phone call is way too invasive. Save the phone call for if somebody passes away or you want to break up with somebody. That might warrant a phone call or a visit. Other than that, texts and emails are the way to go. Plus, you will always have a record and a timestamp of exactly what you said and when you said it, which I think is important. Okay, let's do two more. I understand that the terms narcissism and gaslighting are huge with a capital Y right now. And I understand that narcissism is technically a diagnosis. You would have to be diagnosed to be a registered narcissist. So there's this big pushback right now of saying stop using the word narcissist because you're not a doctor. You can't diagnose people with narcissism. Okay. Here's my unpopular opinion. Yes, you can. If you've been around them for years, there is a legitimate list of red flags to watch out for. And if you have been around somebody for more than a couple years, I think you can. And I think it's massively underdiagnosed because there's no narcissist. The whole profile of a narcissist is somebody that's not going to seek help. That's never their fault. So they're not going to get their own diagnosis. If you've known somebody for many years and they tick all the boxes, and you've bounced it off your own therapist, or you've bounced it off, trusted, competent adults, then I think you can safely say that somebody possesses the qualities of a narcissist. Now, I don't agree with just dating somebody for 2 months. They were kind of a jerk, and then you call them a narcissist. I think it does take a few years to really put that label on somebody. So I don't think you should throw the word around. I don't think just because somebody pisses you off that you should call them a narcissist. It is. And then there's covert and there's overt. So, there's out there ones that really just do not give a crap. Who knows that they are one? But then there is hidden ones that can trick the whole world, besides the people that live in the home with them or have a real relationship, romantic relationship with them. So that's how I feel about that. Alright, the last one for today. Complaining is healthy. Complaining is healthy. Commiserate with me. I think it is just fine to be negative often. Get it off your chest. If you're having a shit day at work and somebody's like, what's up? And you're like, ugh, this is shit. Say it. Say it. Quit faking. If you're having a good day, say that too. It's rare. It's rare where you have a day. I do have some days where I'm like, yes, these are all my favorite clients. But work is work too, So often I'm like, man, I'm tired. Or I'm really hungry. Or it's really nice outside and I don't want to be stuck in this building anymore. So I think it's perfectly okay to commiserate. And honestly, toxic positivity, even just over positivity, drains the hell out of me. It really does. Complaining doesn't do that. But somebody that's always super bubbly, it feels fake to me. Like you never have Okay. Alright. So, feel so sassy doing these unpopular opinions, but those are mine. You have yours. You might agree with some of mine. You might, obviously, you're not going to agree with all of mine. That was a lot of them. You might agree with some, you might disagree with some, but you have your own. I have my own, and that's okay. Alright, if you are still there, I hope that you have a good rest of your day, rest of your evening, and or